Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bold Take Scouting Podcast. Today's a special day because this is our first interview with a potential 2023 NFL draft prospect. We're welcoming Christian Mahogany, offensive guard from Boston College. How you doing today, Christian?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We'll hop right into this interview. So our first question that we always like to start off with, when did you start playing football and what made you fall in love with the game?
I started playing football in high school, and what really made me fall in love with the game was like the grind and the whole aspect of everything, like trying to become a better player, just trying to become better every day. That's what made me fall in love with it. Just constant work every day, and that's you. Over time, you get addicted. So that's what happened to me.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys you've interviewed started when they were super young. And you mentioned that you started in high school. So were there any specific reasons or, maybe just want to try out a new thing in high school?
Well, and when I played in my town, there was a weight limit, and I would never make that weight limit. So I was always a bigger kid. So I just started playing basketball and stuff like that. And then I transitioned to football because I wanted to play again, and then I just took off from there.
Yeah, I also had weight limits. I never went over the weight limit, but we had kids like that too.
Yeah.
And they had to end up starting in high school. So do you have a favorite memory or a favorite game from your college career or your football career so far?
Not really. I don't think so. Yeah, I can't really pinpoint like a favorite. I mean, the best game was probably ever, like the best feeling was winning the state championship my sophomore year in high school. But other than that, like I mean, like every game, and now it's like a business. You're like putting yourself out there, so you just got to treat it like it's your life. So I feel like it's more serious now than back then.
Yeah, that makes sense. We do get a lot of guys that if they won a state championship in high school, they bring that up. So
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. And let's go back to your recruiting process for a second. So you had a lot of offers, including from a handful of Power Five schools. What made you choose Boston College?
Boston College was just, it was close to home, great academics, great known for O-line. So I felt like I fit all those criteria, and I wanted a good education and be close to home, not too close, but close enough for sure, where my mom and family could get up to games easily. So that definitely had BC had an advantage with that one.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's great offensive line history, and that really is true. It's been nicknamed O-line U, and just this past year, the other four guys they started on the line with are now all in the NFL, including Zion Johnson, who went first round. So how helpful was that the last few years for you to have more experienced guys who were going to end up going to the NFL helping you along?
It helps a lot. It helps. It's a tremendous feeling. Those guys. Now they're on to the NFL, and I wish them the best and stuff like that. But just learning from them, guys who played a lot of football, it's like you can't get that anywhere. So it's great. It was great. I was in a great position to learn from those guys and learn all the techniques and stuff of college, and I'm, I'll never forget them for sure. And those guys helped me tremendously in my college career so far. Any questions I had, they helped me. Any problems, they helped me. Football, off football, they were just great dudes overall, and I felt like that's what made us so strong and what made us better as a unit for sure.
Is there any one thing like specifically that you can pick out that they really helped you out with the most?
They just helped me out with like I would say my first year starting. Like it was a good thing for me because we had no fans, so the COVID year, so I really never had to like play. So they were like, just let your I don't know how to explain it. I'm forgetting the word. Just let your man, anxiousness. Just let the anxiousness get out. There's no fans here. Let's just play football like we've been doing all summer in camp. So those guys helped me out a lot. I mean, especially with that, it was definitely nerve wracking for sure. Like when we got to Clemson and they had fans, versus no one else had fans. So that stuff like that was definitely what they helped me with the most for sure.
Yeah, and I mean now with all those guys gone, we mentioned the four other starters all moved on to the NFL. Are you ready to take on that leadership position on the offensive line?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely ready for that position. There's no. I was put in the best position by my coaches, the facility, the faculty. Sorry, and everyone's put me in a great position. The four guys before me, I text them every day, ask them for advice. They give me good advice about what to do here, what to do there, and uh, those guys will be ready for sure. And I'm definitely ready to take that leap in
Yeah.
starting in the fall.
Yeah, for sure. Let's dive into your tape a little bit. What, in your opinion, are your biggest strengths on the football field?
My biggest strength is probably I think run blocking one. power, and like uh, finishing blocks. I mean, I guess you could say that. I like to finish blocks. I think my strength and power are pretty good. Obviously, I mean, I don't think I've given up that many sacks and pressures in my career yet so far. So, I think I feel like I'm an all around player. I feel like I definitely have a lot. I definitely have weaknesses, but like I don't really know them at this point in time. I feel like maybe like some more technical, real technical stuff, like a couple footwork things that like it's not always perfect, but I can make up with my hands. I feel like that stuff. I mean, so I feel like all around, I feel like I'm a pretty good guard, but I feel like I got some footwork stuff I could clean up a little bit when I get tired, especially. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I love that you worked into the answer what you want to work on, because that's really a great mentality to have there. And I think we can talk about your team now a little bit. You guys were 6-6 last year, and including a disappointing 2-6 record in your conference. But you might not be returning most of the offensive line, but you're going to be anchoring that unit. You've got Phil Jerkovic back at quarterback, Zay Flowers at receiver. It's definitely a lot of promise there. So, do you guys have any team goals for the season, and what are you guys doing to work towards them?
We just want to win, trying to be the
Mhm.
best in the ACC. There's always been a narrative the past couple of years, and we're just trying to change that day by day, working out in the weight room, on the field, just get better every day, man. That's all we could do, and we all want to win. That's all.
Yeah, and you mentioned when we started this interview that BC had a lot of really good offensive linemen come out. What's that mean to kind of be carrying on the tradition of really good BC offensive linemen?
I mean, it's a weight. It's a weight. It's definitely a weight on your shoulders, but it's something that that's a realistic thing now. Like when you're a freshman, you're like, yeah, I want to be the next great thing, and then as time goes over, now I'm possibly am one of the next greats at Boston College. It's just so surreal because when I was 14, 15 years old, starting out football, I never thought I would be in a position that I'm in right now, and it's a great feeling. And you just got to live on and do everything the right way, and then people will follow, and then that next generation will follow, and then hopefully you're up there one day.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's going to be great seeing you really be that mentor and that leader of the O line. And at the same time, though, you got to do something that few offensive linemen get to do, and that was score a touchdown in your spring game. And so you get the ball in the wildcat position, plow it in, and then celebrate with like a keg stand of sorts, like Quentin Nelson did with the Colts. You want to take us through that moment, because that it seems like it must have been pretty cool for you.
Yeah, man, it was definitely pretty cool. So we kind of like called it up. We were just like, yeah, we'll probably do this hopefully when we get closer to the goal line, stuff like that. And then we called in the spring game, and it just worked out our way. And then the celebration was probably my favorite part. Me and the O line, we planned that a couple of days in advance, and then we practiced it, and then we just got it done.
I know you can't really give us any information, but any chance we see that in the regular season?
I mean, I hope so. I hope so, man. That would be electric, man. And scoring like a real game. I think that I probably have to get the 15-yard penalty too. So definitely that would be electric.
Yeah, and our last few questions. This is a question we like to ask everybody. Do you have any NFL role models, either like past or present, that you kind of pattern your game after?
Yeah, I like to watch Larry Allen. I think he's the reason. Like I wore 73, I wear it now. So Larry Allen's definitely up there. Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin. I watch all those guys. A lot of guards in the NFL. Just see what they do. Try and like take bits and pieces from their game. So, I just try and watch the best guards and try and model my game after the best. So, for
Yeah, it
sure.
I
definitely
mean,
makes a lot of sense.
if you can
Yeah,
model your game after Larry Allen, you'll be set.
yeah, that's what I think.
This will be an interesting question. Do you have a best player that you played against in college so far?
I would say probably Brian Breesy. I mean, I bet you guys hear that a lot, but like
Yeah.
I bet like he's pretty good. I didn't get to we didn't get to play him last year because he was hurt, but I feel like he's probably been the best overall so far. Even when he was young, I feel like he's probably gotten better, and I can't wait to see him this year. It should be fun.
Yeah. So our last question is kind of an inspirational note to end off on. What is the best piece of advice that you've received throughout your football journey from anyone, coach, teammate, parent, anyone?
I mean, I've heard a lot of things, obviously, but I think I heard this actually in class. One of my classes at BC, we had a guest speaker come in. The lady said, the people who criticize you cannot do what you do. It was something like that. So the people, everyone who criticizes me, myself, my teammates, everyone around me, everyone in the world, they can't do what you do. So you just got to keep doing it. Keep a positive mentality with everything that you're doing. And I believe, like, when I heard that, like, you know how in class sometimes it's a late class, you're kind of like, all right, let me get through this. But then when she said that, my eyes, with my head, like, I was like, wow, yeah, that's true. So definitely, the people who criticize you can't do what you do in your shoes. So I just think that's one of the best quotes like I've probably heard in a long time. But even though I've heard so many from coaches, parents, players, everyone, they're all great. But that definitely stuck with me.
Yeah, I mean that's a really important thing to keep in mind, whether it's sports or just in life in general. Like a lot of the times, the people that are going to be your biggest critics are your critics because either they're jealous of what you're doing or whatever. So definitely good to kind of keep that perspective and say, you know what, maybe they're being critical because they're not really appreciative of what's really going on.
Sure, it's definitely that jealousy is the number one thing in this world so far.
Yeah. And man, it's been a pleasure having you on. Good luck for the rest of the season and in the future of the NFL career. We're gonna be watching your games and keeping up with you. Definitely wishing you the best of luck in the future, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Anytime,
And thanks
man.
everyone for listening, and we'll be back with another episode soon.